You alright? What you're about to hear here is another series I do called Troof Seeking. Do it with a guy called Jimmy Budd. You'll see me advertise these in my stories sometimes. Maybe it's not clear that it's also my show. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. I have put others of these in the feed. There's another 66 episodes? 63 episodes. There's another 63 episodes of Troof Seeking available to the public. And there's a good few on the Troof Seeking Patreon, which is different to my Patreon. Different episodes on there. So if you enjoy this, but you think, you know what, I want it a bit darker. I want my humour a bit darker. I want it a bit, I want to hear stuff that you're worried about putting on Spotify. Then fucking join the Troof Seeking Patreon. Patreon.com/Troof Seeking. Otherwise, join my Patreon, where you'll get access to hundreds of bonus shows anyway, but you won't get the Troof Seeking shows on there and vice versa. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. This one's called B-Man Wrestling. The thing of the show is we tend to talk about we try to talk about conspiracy theories, but sometimes we struggle to stay. They're funny, that's the gist of it. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. If you do, go and listen to the rest. You'll find them on Spotify. I'll put a link in the description. Let me know what you think of this.
We're fucking back. We're back on the Spotify and everything. This is
It's the third comeback of the year.
Is it the third comeback of the year?
I think so. I think we came back, we did like 3, disappeared, came back, did a few, disappeared again.
Well,
but they've still been going out on Patreon, guys.
You got to keep moving. You can't let these people find out where you are. Like if we have information on Bowen, can't let them know where we are.
No, and that's the thing with the Go Bag as well. The Go Bag's got to have all the podcast equipment at the bottom of it, because you don't want it at the top.
Honestly, mate, I've got my EDC. I don't know if you've seen EDC.
No.
Everyday carry. It's basically R/EDC is like fucking blokes who wish they were in the army or think they're John Wick, posting what they carry in their pockets every day. It's everyday carry. So like, usually it'll consist of like some sort of penknife multi-tool thing. So, the fucking a Leatherman or something like that if they're in America. I fucking love a Leatherman. Yeah. They'll have that. They'll have a Ridge wallet, almost always a Ridge wallet, because they're like, leather material, that's too much excess. How can I draw for me Leatherman to stab a would-be attacker
if my pocket's full of
fucking Yves Saint Laurent wallet I got from Christmas off me auntie? They'll always, if it's America, they might have a pistol. Usually some sort of pistol. There's often a mag light. Basically,
what's a mag light?
You know a mag light, little tiny torch, but they're bright. Mag light's the name of the company.
Okay. Right, yeah.
Yeah. So you've usually got like it's fucking people who wank over thinking they're fucking in the army and that.
Yeah, but I find anyone suspicious who's always getting about with a torch. Like, what are you doing in the dark?
Nah, man, I used to carry that's silly because.
Why is that silly?
Because my dad always taught us it was not to always walk about with a torch, but like I always have that in my car and shit like that. I have practical. This is where like good parenting can actually pay off. Like my dad always taught us what to have on hand that could be useful in a situation. So like in a car, I would have a torch, a penknife of some sorts. Something heavy by the fucking driver's seat in case some cunt tried to carjack us and I could just smack him. But something that's got plausible deniability, like my dad always got us to keep a tyre wrench, like a fucking wheel nut brace next to the seat. Because then if someone comes to hit you, because he used to be a taxi driver, like you just fucking smack him with that. And then when the coppers come, they're like, "Why would you have a weapon?" You go, "Well, duh, it's a wheel brace."
As compared to my family teaching me to keep claw hammers by most of the doors in your house.
Just as helpful, but not as easy to deny, unless you've constantly got like a floorboard problem or something.
Or you're a carpenter.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, EDC is basically blokes like trying to get approval from other blokes about how blokey they are with the stuff they put in their pockets.
But they're going to be the least blokey people ever.
Oh,
they're
mate.
They're going to be nerds, proper fucking...
Or the opposite, they're going to be ex-forces and still think that every day is like battle.
No, but there's got to be some ex-forces people who are just autists, who are just, I was doing it because I really love the machines, and I like the movements and the mechanical abilities of the guns, and
Of
I like the
course.
regimentation of it all. I like knowing where I've got to be at a certain time. I like making my bed at 8:15 in the morning. I like having breakfast when I'm told to have breakfast. It's got to be them sorts of people.
Oh,
as
you
well.
can tell because if you ever look at the pictures on r/EDC, they lay them out artistically.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they lay them out like no one would put shit in their pockets that way. Also, these lads must have massive pockets and they must be heavy all the time. If I was an attacker, I would essentially just try and keg these lads and just go hup, because they're coming down, man.
Yeah.
In an attack, and what are they going to do? You're keeping all your stuff in your pockets. Well, I've just made them hit the floor.
That's
No,
what
no,
someone.
no, no, no.
There's the first entrepreneurial bit of advice for the show. Then someone's got to find a way to incorporate all these things into a wrist-mounted device.
You've just given Apple an idea for the next iPhone.
Yeah, with a little pistol inside, a couple like a three shot revolver inside of a watch, a torch. Chuck a garrote line in there as well, just for good measure.
We love that.
Yeah,
We love that.
You don't see it enough anymore in films, do you? A good
You don't.
garroting.
No one
It's just
garrotes.
disappeared.
I remember when it wasn't Hitman, was it Manhunt or something? Whichever one was the one that was like got in a load of trouble on PS2.
Manhunt.
Yeah, because the big scene from that, or the big thing that they all banged on about, was there was a garroting in it. You would kill someone with cheese wire, and it was dead bloody. And I remember that being like much like the Bermuda Triangle. Something that, as a kid, I was like, someone's going to try and garrote me with cheese wire at some point in life. Because I've seen it on James Bond. I've seen it in fucking, like, loads of, like, action films. I've seen it in Manhunt. I'm like, I'm due a garroting at some point in life. How do I defend against that? And it's something I would think about at school. Like, I always thought people, if they had turtleneck sweaters, that was to protect against a garroting, because like it contained like I don't know, like
have a nice
wire
lead
ribbon
lining in there.
yeah,
though,
like
as well.
wire ribbon in the stitching, and then just enough to be like, you're not getting through with your little cheese wire. Also, cheese wire, such a friendly name for such a deadly thing.
It is. You don't have. I like the idea though that you've got cheese wire, but all the other sorts of wire are just wire. It's just different millimeter of wire, whether it's for housing, for putting in cars. Whether it, you don't have, this is wall wire. It's a small hill to die on. But I think we need to name more wires.
Health and safety standards, innit? You're like, this is cheese grade wire. This isn't wall grade wire. It's like just tap water and drinking tap water. You're like, nah, this is cheese grade wire.
Wait, whoa. Look, tap water and drinking tap water.
Not really a problem in the UK. But in a lot of other places, there's like separate water supplies with water you can drink and like. So like if you go to Spain, a lot of the tap water, or some of the tap water you go in places you can't drink. Like
that's crazy though. That the idea that there is tap water there that you can drink. There's drinking tap water and there's tap water.
Well,
that's just someone wanting to sell more pipes.
Yeah, possibly. Or it was built in. The infrastructure was built later. The drink, because they didn't have the ability to create or basically produce drinking water, so they put out the water they could for washing. However, I've always thought about this, like, when you wash, like, water goes places, right? So do you not absorb that anyway? So you're not going to fucking get ill regardless.
You'd have thought so, wouldn't you? Because you're supposed to be porous, your skin. I'd love it though if that's how it turns out you actually drown. It's got nothing to do with you breathing it in and going in your lungs.
Just through your skin.
It's just the water seeps in through your skin. Yeah,
Osmosis,
and you die
and you
like
just
that James
soak it
Bond
up.
girl.
Or the bloke in Michael Barrymore's
You
Pearl.
got. I was gonna say the pusher becomes the diffuser, and he's just kicking his gay lads into the canal, and he's like, "Fucking soak it in, boys."
Soak them.
As he stands there in his Mac. Yeah.
They'll never get me. I've cling filmed myself from head to toe. I'm fully
can't
waterproof.
even splash away, boys.
They call me the Berghaus boy. I'm out here, waterproof. Fucking made of it, lad. You're not getting through here. Yes, man.
And a candy.
So, first topic of this episode. We've been away a long time. A lot of things have happened. We're probably not gonna mention any of them because why? Why have big important points when we could start with something that we bring up quite often as a joke, but I didn't think it would turn into a real big story. Dog nonces.
Dog nonces. Oh, is this the fella in Australia?
Yes, it is. It's the fella. It's a Mr. Adam Britton, who was an English lad. I say lad.
Sounds like a superhero's name, doesn't it?
If this is a superpower, this is a fucking episode of Misfits that I missed. I don't know if you've ever seen Misfits.
Yeah,
the Channel
it would
4
be a great
one.
superpower though. Yeah, Misfits was good.
The ability to
But
nonce
it would be a
dogs at
good
an alarming
superpower.
rate.
To
bit
get away with it. The ability is to get away with it.
Bit
That's
of
he's learned he
backstory
can get away with it. That's his crime. Go on.
for the listeners, because I mean, unless you're like us, I appreciate you may not know who Andrew Britton is. He was a fucking alligator expert. Already British alligator expert. That's weird. We don't have him.
Crocodile expert.
Was he a crocodile expert? All right, and thanks.
That's why he went to Australia.
Thanks for that. Well, I thought maybe he was investigating a
okay.
bunch of refugee alligators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some on the lam.
Yeah, they were on the run,
Ran
much
away
like him.
from Florida.
Much like him, he was finding He was finding company amongst his own kind.
You need a monster to catch a monster.
Yeah. Well,
You hire him when the job's too tough.
Crocodile expert, lived in Australia for 20 plus years. He's on like an episode of Attenborough. He's on an Attenborough show where he consults him about fucking crocodiles. But this mush, in the last recent, basically he nonced like 46 dogs, right? Which
I think he got found out last year, and I think it's been sitting there. They're doing investigating it for a year, from what I can tell, or maybe a little longer, like jury and that. I think.
Did they first get it to sit? Then did they get it to roll over? Then did they get it to give a paw?
Yeah. And then they're like, play dead. They're all the jury's just playing dead by the end of it, because they're like, this is too much. Please no, it's not the 30th video. I think it's weird that you'd film each one.
So he filmed all the cases. The reason people got tipped off because he was like people noticed that he kept having dogs and then not having dogs anymore. Because what he'd do is go on like Facebook Marketplace and shit like that and look for people who were trying to reluctantly give up their pets because they were moving or the pets were getting too old or they couldn't look after them anymore. And then like he'd buy them, he'd take them. Then when they asked for like update photos, he'd send them old photos. When in reality, what he'd done was, well, nonced dogs on video, kept the recordings, and then buried the animals. And I think there was a massive, like a report of a bad smell, which is what made them eventually go to his house. And there was like 40 plus fucking nonced dogs.
He got done for 42, which is a very conspiracy number.
It is a conspiracy
There's always
number.
in these news stories that might be fake news stories. So just for the listener to bear that in mind, it might be made up.
It
might
might be.
not actually be a dog noncer.
He might have been
might have
framed.
been about to unveil something else.
So here's the question. What the fuck is a crocodile expert, a British crocodile expert living out in Australia? Didn't he get done for nonsense or something at some point? There was another crime.
No, they found all of the dog stuff from what I remember. I read this ages ago. You sent it me recently, but it's an old... So they found all the dog stuff because of a lanyard that was left in the container he was filming.
Yes.
Which put him into a very specific county and region of a county because of the colour of that like council worker lanyard, I think.
It was a lead. No, it was a dog lead.
Was it a dog lead?
It was a dog lead for the state.
That's it. And then they had... they caught him, they worked it out, people worked it out online, which implies that there's people watching videos of guys shagging dogs who are doing it to try and catch the people shagging dogs, which is, I think that's a bit like, no, I'm not into it, I was just trying to catch him out, I don't think he should be doing it.
It's a bit like the people
I don't think you should do it, I just like to watch.
It's a bit like the people who act like 8-year-olds online to try and attract like fucking nonces. Being like, I don't enjoy being an 8-year-old girl. I just do it 7 nights a week for multiple hours at a time to catch them. And then when I catch them, I
Yeah.
basically just make jokes about them to camera, and then they never really get pressed charges because I've fucked the investigation. Much like this bloke fucked dogs.
But then they got him for that, and then they've also found I think it was it 8 files? I think it was quite a small number, I think, of files of kiddie porn. Which, one's enough. I'm not saying, he only had a dozen, let him off. But
I
I'm not saying
reckon
that,
even
suggesting that
enough
at
to
all,
have a
but
file is enough, and not like saved to desktop, which is also enough.
Yeah. It's saved anywhere.
Yeah.
I like the idea though that he had gone for a hard copy, and it was just a file in a cabinet.
An actual,
somewhere.
he printed
And
them off.
He tried that out first. Yeah, he printed it out at the library. Tried it first. He's like, this is disgusting.
There's not enough
This
legs
isn't
here
for me at all.
There's not enough
Yeah,
legs
yeah,
here for me, and there's not enough fur.
legs. Turns out I didn't think I liked hair. Not enough hair.
Hmm.
And then he goes, and then he discovers the computer, and he's discovers Marketplace and desperate people looking to get rid of the dogs. I've actually got a story about a dog that he would have fucking loved.
Go, please tell us more about a dog.
It's a dog
nonsense
called
dream.
Ariel. Oh, it is a dog nonsense dream. And I was going to use it as a segue from when we were talking about all the water stuff as well before, but the taps. But either way, there's a dog called Ariel that was found outside of B&M's. And can't remember
B&M
when,
Bargains.
but it's got 6 legs. Yeah, outside of B&M Bargains, in the car park. It was looking a bit malnourished, but it had
It
2
would
extra
do if it
legs.
stood outside B&M Bargains. It's probably had an output fucking 39p energy drinks for the last week. That's why it's got two extra legs.
It's just jittering, ready
Just
to run.
fucking, I'm ready for a 12-hour shift on the site, mate.
Well, it was 11 weeks old when it had been found as well, so too young for an energy drink, even in dog years.
Yeah, even in dog years, that's fucking excessive, that.
And when they took it to the vets did a little bit of an inspection on it, and they were like, oh yeah, well, turns out its hips fused on one side and only works on the other. So if we remove the 2 broken legs that don't do anything, the decorative, the additional legs, if we remove these spare legs, we'll have to also probably lop off one of the good ones because of the way the hips fused. But also, guys, what we've discovered is this dog's got 2 sets of vulva. And I can't help but think that vet's hand must have strayed.
Oh,
If you're looking at the hip and you're like, oh yeah, this hip seems a bit fucked here, and just a little, and another, and you've got the 2 fannies on a dog. It just seems fucking like. Surely you'd notice that as well when you notice the extra legs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get why. The way the story I read, the way it comes across is they didn't find that out until they went to do the surgery on the X-ray. But as far as I'm aware, the vulva's on the outside, isn't it? That's like they're like the lips, the flaps, if you like.
I don't know if it's exactly the same with a dog, though, mate.
Do you not think that the vulva's the adornment of the dog's vagina?
I literally have a dog, and you can't really see its fanny.
We're gonna take a live inspection, guys.
Come here. Come on. She's not a willing participant in this, and I'm not going to become
That's
the next
fine.
Andrew Britton.
You're not gonna shag her.
Right.
We're just gonna inspect for a second vulva.
Have you got a double fanny, pup? Have you got a double fanny? Nah, not interested.
But the note I've made here is, they were either very good people or very evil people, the ones that abandoned it.
Yeah.
Because they're either like, fucking hell, this thing's a freak, I don't want it, and that makes them evil. Or they're very good because they've looked at it and gone, oh yeah, 2 vaginas, I wouldn't have to feed 2 dogs. I better get rid of this temptation here. Do you know what I mean? And then they've dumped it.
Yeah, maybe it was a drop-off for Andrew Britton.
Maybe.
And that was his dream. He's like, fucking, that can give me 3 wanks with some pairs of paws, and I can fuck it twice.
Yeah.
I'm
just thinking about him getting tossed off with his little limp dog elbows.
Whilst we're on the subject of animals,
Yes.
what about fucking Robert F. Kennedy with this fucking bear?
Yeah, what a story. So for those of you that don't know about this, one of the guys that's trying to independently run for America,
A relative of the ones that love getting fucking popped.
Yeah. So he's by far due to be shot.
Like, he's definitely gonna this.
Oh
guy
no! The
that
thing is, I don't think.
the
I think the
outlier.
opposite. I think because he's
think?
the outlier, he's not a danger to anyone. They can basically go, "This bloke's off his nut," and then it just disregards anything he says. So I think they'll probably keep him around as like a jester who they can. Yeah, but also for anything he says is true. You know, like you can just go, "Come on, it's coming from him."
Yeah, but look at what he's done with this bear.
Yeah. This is a bloke that left a bear in Central Park. Please continue.
So he was out and about. He found a bear dead miles away, and then he realised for some reason that day, supposedly, he was like, "Oh, actually, I'm supposed to be in a meeting in New York in 8 hours' time, so I'll head there." Apparently, he got held up, and then for some reason, getting held up on the way to this meeting in New York meant that he couldn't keep the bear, and he had to dump it.
I think it was getting hot and smelly in the car.
Oh, see, I didn't remember that bit. But it makes sense that
natural progression that a dead bear gets hot and sweaty in the car.
Innit? It's New York. He's not down south. It could be cooler. I don't know what time of year it was. But either way, he's got a dead bear in the car. But also, not just a dead bear, he's also doing a favour for his friend at the time, because he said, "Oh, don't worry, I'll chuck your push bike away for you. I'll chuck it in the bin on my way out," which is fucking weird anyway. And then he went to a park, Central Park, and to get rid of the bear, staged an accident where it looked like the bear had fell off the bike, which is fucking mental.
And then to corroborate this, like, because this only came out in the last 2 weeks, he brought it up during some speech, or he'd alluded to it during some speech, and then like people went back and did some digging, and then there's like a tweet from some bloke being like, "How the fuck have I just come across a dead bear in Central Park when I'm out for my early morning jog?" And it's like 2 hours after Kennedy says like he dumped this bear, and then there's more reports and there's newspaper cuttings from like, "Dead bear found in Central Park near a push bike," and all this shit.
Do you reckon someone nicked the bike though? They got to have done, haven't they? Because you're not gonna. Surely you go over, you check the bear's okay. You're like, "You're right there, mate."
Do you, Jack?
Yeah, you
do you,
poke
Jack?
it, don't you?
Hang
You
on
give
a
the poke,
second.
You're like, "You're all right there, mate."
You go
okay
to Central Park, which, as we know, the setting for many disaster films. Godzilla, I'm pretty sure it goes to Central Park. Many other things, Central Park. You're in Central Park.
Yeah.
First off at night, which means you're probably on some shit anyway of some sorts. And there's a fucking bear. Now, I don't care how shiny and new that bike is. I don't care if it's a fucking Suron, which it wasn't because it's 10 years ago. I don't care if it's like a brand new electric bike, bigger battery on it, fucking side bag on the side full of stolen mobile phones, which we'll come back to in a bit. I've got some good crack about that. I'm not going near it because there's a fucking bear next to it, and I'm not checking if I'm not checking a bear's well-being.
But you would feel terrible if that was just a nutter in a costume that had hurt his leg.
No, I wouldn't.
I probably would, because I'd be like, "Oh, you're fucking mint meat. It's middle of the night and you're dressed as a bear and you fell off your bike."
Pretty convincing costume.
Yeah. This
smells.
Who made this?
This isn't your average furry convention suit maker.
Yeah. There's an idea. Is that what furries is? Because could that be what furries move on to? You know how you've got the paedophile hunters posing as 8-year-olds. How long then until a furry decides to be, start leaving bones and collars outside of dog shaggers' houses?
I think there's a Venn diagram there that's almost a circle, because I think most furries probably aren't allowed dogs.
Do you think?
Shouldn't be allowed dogs.
That's
I reckon
mad, that's the way they go. They're like, "Oh, I've been banned from owning an animal, so I am the animal."
It's more I've becoming the animal because I feel like I relate to animals. And what's part of relating with something? Feeling like you can have a relationship with something.
Putting yourself in its shoes as well.
Or in its ass.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm supposing goes on here. I wouldn't put it this way, and it's no offence if you are a furry. Live your life. But I'm not leaving you alone with my dog, especially if it had 2 vulvas. But it doesn't.
No.
It's only got 1, but you could still fuck that up with your fucking polyester fucking little coiled penis.
No,
So-
why are they wasting that opportunity? Why are they whipping out the polyester one? Surely you have a little zip as well for emergencies, so you can use your own.
They have that's what their lipstick is to make it look real. They have like the polyester sheath bit, and then like there's a little bit at the end that they then thrust their little bad boy out of, and that acts as the lipstick. And
There's
they
a little,
go,
there's like a
lipstick showing."
homemade one of them big thick soup spoons, that like vertical soup spoons, homemade into it, so it cups you at the back of your balls and drags it forwards through the lipstick.
That's a contraption and a half.
Yeah,
That's quite a vivid image.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I don't know if that's the response I was looking for, but that's the one I've got.
I've got some more animal news while we're on animals.
While we're on, mate, we're smashing them. I don't know if there's any conspiracy surrounding any of these, but
This one can lead into probably a conspiracy. He's up to something. This fella.
RFK, by the way.
Go on.
Why?
What, with the bear?
Yeah, what sort of alibi was he giving himself? Because that's the only thing that's got to be.
His alibi was that he was going to eat the meat of the bear. That his plan was to eat the meat of the bear because he'd found it.
No. What was he actually doing that he had to have this as a fucking alibi? Because I'm sorry, there's no other way, right? He picked up a bear, agreed to take his mate's push bike, dumped them both in Central Park, and sat on it for like 10, 14 years.
Because it's a great story, isn't it?
What the fuck happened? Right, someone else that isn't me, because I'll forget as soon as this stops, needs to look into what else happened on that day in New York. Because
Or maybe not even in New York, where the bear was, or where this guy was with the bike.
I'm gonna say New York though, because it means it puts him. It puts him in that area.
The clever thing to look into would be if you was to pin the black bear, where they found the bear, on the map, and get the radius on a circle of where that was and where this guy was with his push bike, make a circle, and then work out the exact opposite and work out what was going on in that area over there.
Yeah.
Because then he could be like, how could I possibly be over there? I was 12 hours in that direction.
Basically, whoever's more autistic than us, if you would care to look into it and get back to us, we could be on the cusp of something great.
Could be.
Animals, you say? You've got more.
Oh, and apparently eating bear meat can send you mental and give you mental
heard
worms
this.
and that. Yeah, it breaks your brain.
Yeah. Is it
So-
prions or whatever? Some shit like that.
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but that sounds about right. But
Like-
it sends you loopy.
Yeah, it can like fucking. I don't
Like
know
it's
what
up there with eating human flesh. Except you can prepare bear properly, like in quotes, properly, and it's not as dangerous, but it's still bad. Whereas you can't, even if you cook human flesh, it can still give you the jitters.
And I would know.
Yeah. He's got the look about him, folks.
That
There's a little
glazed,
smirk. Yeah, the
that
glazed
glazed-
eyes, but the smirk that came up as soon as I said
jaundiced-
well-prepared human flesh.
Oh, don't, man. My stomach will start grumbling on the microphone.
Mm.
You've got more animal news.
I do, and that might be about it for me. Animal news. A fella called, this one took me fancy because he's got the same surname as me. He's called Thomas Davady, right?
Brilliant.
He's if you had to guess where in the world a guy was doing something weird, where would you guess? A weird, newsworthy story. Where's that coming from?
Wales.
Florida. So he's another Florida man.
Why
Which
did
should
I?
be a segment.
Why did I think more into that than I should have?
Yeah, I thought you'd just be straight away there.
Yeah,
it's
I
because
know.
we're out of practice, guys. That's what it is. Right,
We're
so
slipping.
yeah.
Maybe we stop the show.
Well, he threatened the end of the world.
No, maybe we stop the show. Maybe if I
Just-
can't get something that basic, we can't be in this world anymore, and we just stop the show.
What about if we stop the show and you do yourself in during the show? Because then it makes
Aye.
all the rest of them listenable. And then I can monetize them on my own and leave some money to your dog. And then it can be like, right, I'm also then going to make sure the dog gets kept long away from Mr. Britain.
What would be the most interesting way to off yourself on air during like basically an audio only podcast?
You
'Cause
need a lot of
video-
sound effects in it, so you need to be able to really get that good choking sound.
Yeah.
But it's almost like you're eating something but screaming, so you need something sharp as well. So like blades, small, fractured little shards of tiny little shards of glass, maybe like phone screen glass.
Yeah.
Just pestle and mortared up, shot of that, and start trying to eat a wire.
And then what I could do is like program like a soundboard, but then like cover the keys in like this mixture, this fine sharp mixture, and then like bash away at that with my fingers at first, because then it adds a comedic touch, because you would hear me screaming with every press, but then over the top you'd have like Ball Selector. Or like fucking...
Get her a coat.
Yeah, just fucking Alan Partridge shit, just random stuff. Maybe the sounds of like, the sounds it makes if you go across a crossing. You go beep, 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 beep. That. Maybe a little bit of like fucking elevator jazz.
Checking number 3, please.
Yeah, well, yeah, more like unexpected item in bagging area, I reckon. Because I'd be smashing my balls off it at that point.
Just tearing them up on the glass.
Fucking using them like, sandpapering them off the soundboard.
This reminds me of a lad we had at school who tried to tell us all that. I think he said I think it was Muay Thai you would talk about. He said that what that was where you used to wrap around what looked like the dressing gown things around your waist. You wrap them around your hands, dip them in honey, and then dip them in broken glass, and then you fight each other. And no one believed him for obvious reasons.
You did used to use that style wrap, where it is like, and they're still doing some promotions where it's essentially, like you say, it's almost rope. It is rope, basically, and that fucking, it's solid. It really fucking hurts. But the whole, I mean...
Honey and glass.
Honey
it sounds like
glass.
something from a film.
Yeah, also, honey, like...
Dear, innit?
It's expensive. I know it is sticky, but is it sticky enough to keep glass to a glove? And also, it's like, it adds like a sweet treat for the person you're punching, and given that it's giving them glucose, so you're basically you're giving your opponent a Lucozade every time you punch them.
If as long as you get them in and around the mouth or the porous skin, though, I suppose as well, absorbing glucose through the honey on your skin.
If you had the fight next to like a fucking bee's nest.
I was going to say, what you've got to do is before your round, open the window and hope a wasp comes in.
That's that's a class fight. I'd watch Muay Thai in a forest of bees' nests.
What about when they do the fighting in the front seats of a car, but they also put in a couple wasps? So there's like 5 or 6 wasps coming through the back window, and both these proper hard mental bastards are sat there in the car. Now they've been eyeballing each other, but now they're panicking and heads spinning round, looking everywhere like that because there's loads of wasps.
A bit like a Royal Rumble, like every 30 seconds you let another wasp in.
Another handful.
Handful.
Add to the drama, Microphones as well in there, so you can really pick up the humming sound. No dead cats on the mics, just cheap microphones getting the...
Yeah.
Sounds like a feedback loop, and every now and then just from them hitting each other, but also from them going like that, also batting them away from each other's faces.
I fucking like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, that's a fucking great idea. Because the thing is, it's jiu-jitsu that they always do in the fighting cars as well, and they don't want anything like that. They're far too it's all submissions and holds and like touching each other, and like it's a nightmare for their skin. That nightmare for the skin. They're scared of the holes in the skin. It might give staph, and staph's their worst enemy. So that's a fucking. I like the suggestion. We could add a hornet. If it gets to like a 3-minute mark and no one's done anything.
A big klaxon goes off to really rile up the wasps.
Introduce the hornet!
And then there's just one guy dressed like Mad Max hiding behind a curtain. Like one of them, like what magicians use where it's a cylindrical curtain and they drop it down and the woman's changed clothes. But in there is just a Mad Max guy with like juggalo face paint on, chains wrapped around himself, never fought a day in his life. And he just prepared him and he speaks like Brian Blessed. Bring
forth the hornet! Release him! And the hornet's got like a name like from fucking Robot Wars or something, like Sir Sting-a-Lot. That's one of them. He got another one that's like fucking... Stabby Bastard.
Stabber 5000.
There you go. Similar. Stabby Bastard. Same sort of shit. And we introduce them. They can become personalities as such.
Anafix Electric.
Yeah, I like that. whilst we're down this road, big shout out, R.I.P. to the referee from Gladiators who died in the last 2 weeks. Big shout, massive. For people, that's a big part of my fucking developmental stages of my life, was watching that big scary rapist looking bastard Wolf on Gladiators, and then he was always getting told off by the referee for basically being Wolf and looking like a big scary rapey man. Probably very nice, but shout out to that referee who I would have liked refereeing Hornet Jiu-Jitsu car battle.
Yeah, it would be good. It needs a catchier name. That's too long of a name for on the TV guide. That because we're pitching this to telly, innit? It's not. It can't be an internet thing. Oh, it's already going to do well on the internet, so you need it on telly. What could you call it? What's the fucking There's got to be a type of car that sounds like something to do with a bee. Something hive, something bee, wasp.
Well, I mean, you've got
Sting,
a BMW,
buzz.
but that's not... The M and the W doesn't really leave much to the...
B-Man Wrestling.
B-Man Wrestling.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
BMW.
That's your Brian Blessed character, is B-Man.
Yeah. But
The name's B-Man!
You only see him if there hasn't been a submission within 5 minutes.
It comes
That's
in
so
and
the
his
crowd
B-suit.
goes fucking mental.
He's got a B-suit, but then he's got chainmail over the top of it.
No. He's got all that on underneath. And then he comes on the B-suit and he's like, prepare for the battle, boys and girls. Like that, right? And it's all kids in the audience going, yay, woohoo!
Stung,
Like that.
but they've been stung to bits because they filmed like 6 episodes, and obviously the bees escape and the wasps escape.
But the guy that's in charge of the bees in all the bee gear also doubles up, because that's not making you all the money, is it? He also doubles up as a close-up magician, works around Chinese restaurants on a Friday and Saturday evening, because obviously they'd film this in the week for make it cheaper in the studio. So he's got his bee gear on, but he's also doing a bit of magic to illusion, so this Brian Blessed fella, the bee man, can go in the tube, so he can strip all the bee gear off. And when it's dropped down, there he is in his chains.
His chainmail.
Yeah, and he hands the Hornet.
I am the Bee Man, and he's got, instead of like he hasn't got a watch, like a clock face like Flavor Flav, he's got a pot of honey.
No, it's honeycomb.
Yeah.
Honeycomb, gold.
Big gold honeycomb.
Yeah, with
diamond
honey
encrusted.
From it. Yeah.
And he's
that's
like,
the diamonds.
that's his saying. He's like, I'm the Bee Man, and I'm dripping in fucking honey. Let the battle commence. And then you got 2 fucking nerdy, autistic jiu-jitsu lads who were like, I signed
terrified.
They just think they signed up for a normal competition. And they're like, why am I getting in a BMW 3 Series?
No, it's not even a BMW. They can't afford a BMW.
It's a Volkswagen Passat.
It's a Fiat Panda.
Yes, lad. Yeah. Why does it smell of honey in here? And why are all these dead bees on the floor?
Why is that fucking needle been used? It's just one of them fucking the little EpiPens on the floor. That's like this the bonus round. The bonus game is find the correct EpiPen, the unused EpiPen.
Now it's turning into fucking Saw.
Why not?
B-Man, I want to play a game. The game is beat the fucking Hornet.
This round is called EpiPendulum. I've dangled 15 EpiPens from the ceiling.
But the other
They're
14...
all on motors. 14 of them are hypodermic and infected.
14 of them are fentanyl. One is an actual EpiPen.
Do you want to fall asleep in a room full of bees? Or do you want to be able to be safe and go home to your family? I don't think you appreciate your life. You shouldn't be fighting in cars. I am the Bee Man.
As a bee, we appreciate life. We only get to attack once and then we die. So I've built a game where you, the man who has attacked, someone more than once, now has to live life like a bee. You get one chance to attack. It may kill you.
Gary, you've also never had a proper job. Bees have always had jobs. Bees always work. You've been on the dole and saying you're a semi-professional fighter. Gary, you fight in car parks outside the Red Lion. Welcome to the EpiPendulum.
I think that's the best thing we've ever done.
Do you think?
Yeah. No, I don't want to stop the show anymore.
buzzing.
I'm not gonna slap my balls off the fucking the Gravel's glass grit soundboard. But I do want to invest heavily in Epipendulum.
If someone wants to draw this for us, elements of this, we'll happily post it to the page.
Yeah, we won't pay because there's no money.
Yeah, no, not many people are signed up to the page. They are patient on the Patreon, aren't they?
I fucking love them.
Fucking saints, mate.
Use I know this isn't a Patreon, but use a class because we've done like I've fucking moved house. Like Jack's had a breakdown.
I've gone mental again. Oh, speaking of which, mate, I am back in the mindset of we shouldn't sleep, and I am having to convince myself every night that you have to go to sleep.
Oh, he looks incessant while he's saying this.
I really have been fucking convinced. It's making me fucking grip my hands together that we're not supposed to sleep. Also, arguing with myself all the time as well, and arguing with people that don't even exist, just when I'm just getting jobs done, and not always winning either. So I'm on top form, like I'm back to normal.
I have, and this is, I don't even consider this mental at this point. I have like potential arguments with people over potential problems that I see arising.
Yeah.
And in my own head, see how the whole thing's gonna go through. And often, I dare say 80% of the time, never happens at all. Because people are going on with their own lives and don't actually fucking care about shit like I care about it in my head. However, the 20% or 15% where it happens, I'm pretty fucking close with what I've gone through in my head. I don't always win or come off the best, even though I've had time to prepare. It's almost as if, like, the power is a hindrance because I can't change it. I can only see it.
Yeah, and then when you see it starting to happen, you're like, oh, fuck, it's going this way.
Yeah.
It's outcome 374 from 5 hours in.
Yeah.
Oh, bollocks, I hated this I hated myself. I was thinking about killing myself at this point of the day when I was going through these.
I'm back on the soundboard bollocking again. I do exactly the same, but at this point, I don't really consider that being... Well, yes, I consider that being part of a mental issue, but...
It's not that I consider it being mental. It's the fact that I've been on tablets for quite a while and I'm realising, oh, this is something that they stopped. And they weren't supposed to.
No, they probably were supposed to.
Do you think?
Yeah, I dare say they were supposed to, yeah.
Oh, well, they stopped it and I've missed it. Because it makes me brain feel more normal. It makes me feel more like, my brain's working because there's someone talking to me in my head constantly, singing little songs sometimes. Last night it was... the song from Billy Joel, The Piano Man, and it was this like Inspector. Who's the guy that was just like just one more thing? Columbo looked like him, right? When I'm looking at him in my mind's eye,
looked like a dirty Colombian man, because that's what I recall Columbo looking like.
Why not? Let's add like an element like that into it. Let's make it sound.
I didn't mean that. No, I meant generally
like they're all dirty or something.
No,
that's how it came across.
No, that's why I've had to specify.
Dirty Colombian man.
No, that's why I had to specify dirty, because like he looked grubby.
He did look grubby, yeah.
Yeah,
he did. But like he looked a bit like him, except he's in a big camel coat like Del Boy, and he was just
that's a sheepskin coat.
A sheepskin coat. Well, it's a camel jacket, though, isn't it? That's what it's called, isn't it?
I've never seen a camel in a jacket, mate. That's misinformation.
Well, either way, he was... I can't... Fucking hell. Something like, I've got a hunch I'm the camel man. I've got a hunch it was you. And he's just doing that when he solves a crime. But in my head, he wasn't a TV show guy. He was just a normal PI. And I was fucking loving it, mate.
That's sick, mate.
Yeah, my head's just giving me. It's just giving me stuff all the time again. Like it's shit. Some of it's shit now, because it feels like it's been fucking. I like the idea though that whatever that is that causes that has just been screaming the entire time, but for whatever reason my brain can't hear it, and now it's being heard. It's like, wasted all the best stuff when you was ignoring it.
You should have heard the shit, man, when you couldn't hear as I was coming out with some belters. I really wanted you to listen. I
could see you couldn't smile. I was trying to help.
I was doing bits, man. I've got accents you've not even heard me do yet, and yeah, they're pretty racist.
And you can't even mimic them because you don't have the throat for it. It's fucking well annoying.
Well, I'm
Should
glad. Go on.
I was going to crack on with a bit more of that finish off that bit of animal news.
If you, this is a
'Cause
very
we teased
animal-heavy episode. We did tease it.
There's so the fella's got the same surname as me. He's called Thomas Devaney, and he threatened to effectively end the world with an army of turtles.
Fucking interested.
Yeah, like Bowser, mate. And I've got the story here. He was 61 years old, and it was in Florida, obviously. And he got arrested, and then carried on ranting. And then when he left the police station, went back to the car park that he'd got arrested of from outside of a 7-Eleven, and then declared himself a saint, threatened to destroy civilization with a vast army of turtles, and then he got detained a second time, and they charged him with disturbing the peace.
Incredible.
No note of if he had the turtles on him. Don't know.
So how was he training this army of turtles?
I imagine he was just throwing them at the people in front of him.
Like Pokemon.
Yeah, or Mario. Like Mario Kart.
Just trying to get him to slip on them and shit.
Yeah.
Tossing them off people's heads.
You could fucking hurt people with a turtle. Though.
Mate, 100%. The
Them
edge of that.
snapping turtles as well.
Well, there's
Big
several
one of them on a
ways.
stick or on an old ladder or something, and you just hold it up and
Edge.
throw stones at people's windows. Right, see what you do is you find horny teenage girls, right, who think the boys from school are going to come and knock on their glass in the night.
Jack,
You've got a ladder
Jack,
with a what?
Before you carry on,
Yeah.
given the first part of what you've just said here, be careful with how you proceed.
If you're this fella, right, and you're trying to kill people with turtles, you want to, like in the films, like in Romeo and Juliet and that, where he throws stones at the window,
Yeah.
right? So it's like that. So you throwing the stones at the glass.
Much better.
She comes to the window.
You've smashed this now. Nice.
Yeah. It's because I was trying to describe, the fucking the visual,
Starting any premise with horny teenage girls is fucking not the best one,
I'm glad you stopped me. He doesn't often stop me, and he pulled away from the mic as well, which is unusual. It's like to get both, so I could see both eyes. Normally,
Honestly,
I can't even really see one.
There's some territory where I'm like, there's things I don't mind being assumed. That's not one of them.
Fair enough. Well, I didn't mean it as in he's not gonna shag them. He's got a ladder, nice fucking 12-foot ladder, maybe like a nice 14-rung ladder. He's been screw fixed or whatever. He's strapped one of these alligator snapping turtles now to the front of it. She's come, opened the windows, double door balcony like you get in them flats where they've got no actual balcony. Just
I fucking
doors.
hate that. I fucking hate that. Can we stop a second? Because I fucking hate that.
Suicide doors.
I hate this whole. Here's a double door, but there's not a balcony. There's a railing 2 inches from the fucking opening.
Yeah.
What is that? Why
Yeah, I
not
don't
just
get
have
the
a
point
fucking
at all.
window? It's
I
not
know.
somewhere to hang clothes. It's not
No.
somewhere. Don't give us that bullshit. Because they're never like the fences that are outside where you can they're straight vertical. Horizontal where you can layer shit on. It's usually curved iron or some shit for stopping babies falling out of. Because of course they're gonna fall out because it's not a fucking balcony.
Because it's a hole in the wall.
Yeah,
It's just a hole in the wall.
so it's not for drying shit.
Dale Winton's there when they're designing the fucking building.
But I don't get what that's for. I hate it.
No, I don't.
I think it's great for suicidal people. But you would never let him. You won't admit that that's what it's for.
Do you know what would be a good idea? Glass ceilings, right, in flats. And then you have to develop a relationship with the person above and below you to be kind of friendly with them. But then also, if you're looking for a couple of quid and you're a lonely woman, or, not doing too well woman, but somehow you've got the upper floor, because I imagine it's more expensive as you go up, you get an in-person OnlyFans service where you're like, do you want to look at my dress? And then you can press a button. The glass goes transparent rather than opaque. Or if you really don't want to see them, you'd be like, look, we're good friends. I bought you a Christmas present and a birthday present. Yeah.
It's a fucking rug, mate.
I keep buying you these rugs I don't want to see. But I think you'd develop a better friendship and relationship with the people above and below you.
Looks like you need to shave today, Keith. Huh? Looking a bit bushy down there, son.
I know you think that no one knows when you pick your nose and drop it down the side of your chair, but
We do.
I watch you do it every night, me.
Yeah.
And the guy below's just going like that, thumbs up, because he's just got this fucking horrible red, green, and brown stain on the glass.
Someone's like, you've got a house party, it's like someone keeps pissing on the floor. You're like, who keeps pissing on the floor? And they're like, no one's me. And they're like, Darren, fucking Mary downstairs has told us it's you.
Yeah, I've just texted her. She's just texted me going, it's that guy with the little penis. So we know it's you, Darren.
Yeah, Darren, she watched you doing 720 spins with it, man. But it was only going, it was only covering a 1 metre fucking diameter, so you didn't get very far. You pretty
Coming
much
out
got
in
most
little
of it
spurts.
still. You got most of it still in the toilet, you silly cunt. Yeah, good idea. Glass floors, fantastic. No suicide doors and more glass floors.
Yeah.
That could be the name of our development company once we've made money from B-Man Wrestling.
Yeah.
In
Or
fact,
what about just glass ceiling with a little question mark at the end?
yeah,
You know,
that makes
and the
that makes it sort
advertising
of political. Gives us a
makes
a
it sound
fucking
clever
conversation.
when really what
Does.
it is, it's a thing for perverts. Glass ceiling? It's just, it's just, are you sick of not being able to look up your neighbour's skirt?
Get this?
Your upstairs neighbour, glass ceiling.
Yeah, I don't know why we haven't got into fucking property development sooner.
No, I know. It would have been a good shout.
What points can we end this on? Because the thing is, I want to take a lot of these. The thing I was going to mention earlier about mobile phone thefts, we'll bring up in the Patreon.
Okay.
Because that's
Got a race element, boys and girls.
no, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
No, I'd like to clarify for once. It doesn't. And there's some other shit. We could talk about the riots in there. I feel that might get a little bit not for Spotify. So just to give you some teasers, look, we haven't fucking done the pit. We did a Patreon episode a week or two ago out of fucking basically
generosity.
Not generosity. We were very much obliged to people that hadn't cancelled the Patreon over the last fucking 3 months or so. It's stupid. So we done one of them, and we're doing another one tomorrow. And this is the shit that you can hear on the other one. But obviously, we're not going to talk about dog nonsense. We've done enough of that for today.
Yeah, we don't just carry on this show and make it into the Patreon as well, if you are wondering that. If you're thinking, why would I give you £3 to hear you just talk about the stuff you've just spoke about? A lot of the time, we talk about stuff that no one wants to hear.
Yeah, we don't even really want to
talk about the stuff no one's listening to.
Yeah, real journalism. And often it contains stuff that would lose us a lot of friends if it was in the public domain.
Yes,
but
and business as well.
We're going to talk about the UK riots. We're going to talk about phone theft. We're going to talk about Australian Olympians.
AI judges.
AI, are we? We got AI judges. Well, I'm going to lead you with some AI.
Go on.
Because you sent me like that picture of that lassie who'd got fucking so much surgery that she literally has a different face.
Oh, yeah. I've got that written down about her.
Right,
yeah,
well.
Yeah. Fucking...
Well.
We should preface this. I'm not just sending in pictures of people who've had surgery.
Yes, he is.
Or just sending in pictures of women.
Yes, he is.
My point was...
He's finding six-legged dogs with two fannies. He's finding people who have had mad fucking operations. And he's just... it's always like, would you smash? And that's every time.
Before or after?
Yeah.
Better or worse? That'd be mint, mate, if you go to the opticians, though, and they just put an ugly woman and then a better-looking woman. And you've got a better or worse? Better or worse? It's just like a rapist in a chair. Yeah, a rapist in a chair with, like, matchstick dyes, like fucking
Clockwork Orange.
And it's just ugly women and better-looking women going, better or worse? Better or worse? How about now? When they say how about
1-6,
now, they're
181.
a little wheel and it filters the fucking thing.
Well, this woman you sent me looked like a fucking, not even a waxwork of herself. She looked like an amalgamation of, she looked like a photo fit
like
of
a
someone
monster.
else. Yeah.
Like someone had gone to her and gone, I'm going to take your skin.
So people like her, Simon Cowell, I don't know if you've seen him lately.
I can't imagine he looks much different to how he's looked for the past 25 years.
Oh, really?
Like a creature.
Oh, mate, yeah, but he looks like a different creature.
Does he?
I encourage you to take a look at him if you can find a picture of him online recently. The Bogdanov twins, do you remember them? Those
Yes.
Yeah. Them bad boys, they're dead. They both died during COVID, 6 days apart.
Yeah.
Which, hey, all I'm going to say is some lads involved in some theories that were largely disproven. They're basically fucking idiots. But, hey, both died within 6 days of each other in COVID. However,
I started reading about something called Havana syndrome or something, which is where it's things like that. Them sort of deaths now have a name, and it's Havana. I think it was Havana.
where someone
Havana
dies
syndrome.
within like a very close proximity of someone else close to them.
No. When someone dies who seems to be somewhat embroiled in something that's a bit dodgy.
Ah, right, yeah.
And for some reason now someone's like scientists
Boeing
have linked it
syndrome.
all together essentially, but it's Havana syndrome, and it's isn't it strange that this person that was about to release the water-powered car engine has died from being poisoned at a restaurant? But
What do you mean, this man who was about to prove that Iraq, there was no need to invade it, he's gone and shot himself twice with the wrong hand next to a tree?
behind in the back of the head.
Mental.
Yeah.
Shout out David Kelly.
Terrible disease.
Bop.
Bop.
So, I've got a theory
Go on.
that these people, these facial reconstructive, not the surgeons, although they got their part to play in it, the people who are getting it done are actually ahead of the curve, and they are the vanguard in our fight against AI and like facial recognition.
Just to make it prolong it so it takes longer to learn.
I think they're skewing the data, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that like the entire city of, shout out to home, Newcastle, and like Liverpool, and actually to be fair, canny few places down here. I would say more so like the arses down here. Now side note, we're gonna go off on a little tangent.
That's
like,
okay.
I come from the northeast, right, where it's every little lass's dream to stick a fucking litre of filler in their lips and like have fucking massive eyelashes and then maybe get their tits done, right? And that become, go on girls, whatever you want. I've never liked like that at all, but just a tradition up home, just as much as it is hating anyone that isn't white. You know, good old northeast traditions, you know, those things. No, it's a very lovely place. But like down here, I didn't know fake asses really existed outside of like the porn world until I moved to London. Because not only do you just outright see like advertisements for BBLs and that, where they're like, stick 500 cc's of this in your butt cheeks, which is half a litre.
What does BBL stand for?
Brazilian butt lift.
Cool.
Oh, big booty Latina. But in this case, they're not Latinas. No. And they're usually getting them done by someone who calls themselves like a cosmetics expert. And it's like some lassie that done like a fucking 3-hour course that she paid for on, what's it called, Voucher.
She used to do nails in people's kitchens.
Now she's buying fucking Chinese chemicals off sponsored Instagram ads from fucking Shenzhen. Where they're turning stolen mobile phones into said fucking filler. And then she's just injecting it in the front of a house where a fucking lad sells sniff.
I can't wait for them to make the novelty Instagram account, though.
What do you mean?
Where they're walking around the factory, he's like, this guy's only melted down 5 mobiles. He's not going to be able to inject chemicals into some woman's arse. Should I fire him and kill his kids?
BioStar Kitchenware's next foray into business is that.
Yeah.
Big shout out BioStar Kitchenware. Still going. Still absolutely smashing the Instagram. I can't work out if this is propaganda or just bad social media game. But yeah, lots of that. I think all of these people are providing a service, whether they know it or not. I think some are maybe conscious of it. Like the Bogdanov twins were like, they knew from the start.
Yeah, they've got to be aware.
They
After
knew
the
from the
30th
start.
injection into the forehead.
They knew like what was happening with AI. They predicted it, like they predicted the internet, and they were like, we need to start skewing this data now, because otherwise face recognition is going to fuck us all up, and AI is going to be easier to make, like develop videos and like fake, like deep fakes and shit like that. So we need to start like making it think that these are what faces look like when they don't.
The BBL stuff could be used to interrupt gait recognition then.
Yeah,
Because you got to imagine that'd make you walk differently.
Also, like things like if you get on the tube or that down here and you've got to tap in, how long that fucking actual gate stays open.
Yeah, so they start thinking people are longer. Thinking
People are
like
longer.
AI's like, look, we need to prepare for centaurs. There are centaurs knocking about.
And what they're actually doing is making it so like a couple of people can get through at once, so only one of you have to pay for the train. And like 3 you can walk through because it thinks like, oh, humans are that long.
Yeah.
It's quite clever. Like we actually owe these people. So next time you see someone with like a heavily modified face, chest or arse, after you've stopped recoiling in horror and whiting, give them a $5.
No, don't, because they're already fucking ruining people's careers. Think about what you've just described there. 3 people can get through off the shape of one person. Think about the pantomime workers, man. Like the ones that dress up as horses and that.
Yeah, but soon
It's going to impact them.
Yeah, but these can take their jobs because, let's be honest, your average pantomime worker is often like 75. So mate, it's a retirement hobby.
In the back end of a horse, 75. Well, I suppose with the bad back, because some old people walk around, don't they, like they're looking for pennies.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it's that's an arthritic man with fucking hunchback. That's who's in the back of that horse.
That's
why the horse keeps farting.
With a broom in his hand.
That's why the horse keeps groaning and farting all the time when you go and see it. But they can essentially, they won't even need like horse masks. They can just take the trampoline. The trampoline. What?
The trampoline.
The what?
That would also disrupt AI if everyone just started walking around with trampolines for a couple of years. So then everything AI makes is just a guy holding a trampoline. Everywhere he's going, he's just carrying it.
Everywhere's bouncing as well.
Yeah.
In pantomimes, they can just take over as the actors when this work dries up. But I think we owe them a lot. People like Katie Price, Kerry Katona.
Did you see that picture of her on Twitter?
I didn't. Is it the one where she had a shit on her chest?
It was.
Why did this happen?
No idea. But about, I think, 4 nights ago, it was everywhere on Twitter. Like, even people, like, you were seeing people try to make memes and none of them stuck. But I'll make a meme out of anything. But I think that if anyone's going to sue someone...
She's short of a few quid, but she can't, she can't afford the fucking legal team for it, man.
Oh.
Let's have a look.
It's pretty grim. It kind of looks fake in a way, which ironically, but it looks weird.
Let me quickly just see if I can.
And it doesn't look like a forced out shit. I'll fill it. It doesn't look like a forced out shit. Like, because I would imagine, obviously, if you're going to shit on someone, I imagine that's something you've got to plan and prepare for and eat accordingly. Because you don't want to, come out, oh, I'm going to have a poo, and then you just really struggle to get it out, and it's just one of them little tiny ones, and you're like, oh, fucking hell, not even worth wiping. No, his face, the teeth came out, guys.
Why?
Yeah, but if you scroll down, you'll see shit on her belly as well.
That's what? Why?
I don't get it. I don't understand what the fascination would be with that, innit?
Katie.
I would really like a part of my belly to feel a little bit warmer. She's holding a tissue as well in the picture, which I think adds to it. Like, they've had the fun. The fun's over. She's just about to clean up.
Yeah.
Which is a shit time to take pictures of, in terms of sex, innit? Yeah, but it's a shit time, innit? When sex was. Oh, you're just cleaning yourself up. Just let me snap a couple pictures.
Let me just get in there. Let me get before and after.
Don't even wait for me. I'm just going to take pictures of yourself wiping yourself up. Like, who's that for? That's
Reddit, clearly, because that's where I've just found the fucking picture.
Oh, is it on Reddit?
Of course it is. That's the first picture. Anything like that is going to be on there. I don't like that. I looked for that.
Yeah, that's going to mess with your search a bit.
That's minging that.
Yeah.
Katie Price she's not having a good one, is she? Was that Harvey's shit?
I really hope not, because that adds a very strange level to what's gone on there.
He wouldn't have a clue.
But someone would.
I think we carry this one on the Patreon.
Maybe.
It's been a first.
So we've lied to them then. The topics do continue.
Well, they might. We've done that loads. Right. We're back. This is going to be on basically as soon as you can get. If you get it up today, that's fucking incredible.
If you send it me when you say
I
you're
fucking
gonna,
will right
yeah,
now.
sound.
Right the fuck now. And then tomorrow we're going to record a Patreon. And I'll put that the fuck up then. Double whammy. And then we're back in the swing. And people have got no choice but to not ignore us.
Yeah.
This is Troof Seeking. Patreon, go and try and...
Patreon.com/Troof Seeking. There's
Listen
no
out.
free trial because we don't trust you to stay.